Men haven't changed what they want in a woman. Okay? That's why you see billionaires marrying waitresses. They don't care about your college degree. They don't care about your job. That's not what matters to a man.
Does this not sound familiar?
That nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No.
A successful woman has traits that will significantly hinder her ability to keep and retain a successful guy, because there's other women that will go ahead and do things that that successful woman won't do.
Okay.
Men are not attracted to success.
No, that's a shame.
The most desirable man on earth, with paycheck, with status, with looks, Ronaldo. He picked up a minimum wage bitch, the McDonald's worker at the Gucci store.
Steven Crowder is being attacked again, and when is he not, of course, but in one of his latest streams, Steven Crowder has addressed some rumors that have been going on that he was unfaithful in his marriage to Hillary Crowder, his now separated wife, Hillary Crowder. During his live stream, Steven Crowder did admit to a little bit more than what we thought he would when addressing these rumors. A simple no, it's not true would have sufficed, but let's check it out.
Yeah, I need to address that I have ever committed adultery. And I say unrelated to the divorce because the media smear campaign is of an accusation that has never even been alleged, to be clear, in any divorce proceedings, nor allegations of any kind of physical abuse ever. All right? This is a complete falsehood out there in the media from people who are looking to do reputational damage, and we know who's behind it. I want to be very clear about this. I have absolutely and unashamedly, respectfully, courted several women well since I was served divorce papers, and have been going through a separation and divorce for well over 2 years.
So right when he got the papers, well over 2 years, okay. If you guys don't know what courted means, that means he's dating, he's entertaining, he's smashing other women, multiple women, by the way. And let's remember, Crowder was a guy that got married very young at the age of like 24 as a virgin to another girl, his wife, who was also a virgin, right? So it makes sense. Hey, give me the divorce papers, right?
Depending on how you calculate it. And each of these, the reason I need to address this is because each of these women are incredible. They've all been incredible, conservative, God-fearing women to the letter, have done nothing wrong. These were not one-night stands. These were meaningful relationships with each woman who is well aware of my situation well after served divorce papers, who do not deserve to have their reputations besmirched, who helped me through what has been the darkest, most difficult period of my life, and have a fondness in my heart for everyone involved.
There you go. He said they weren't one-night stands. I did enjoy them. They're good women, right?
And by the way, the woman would make fantastic wives, mothers for whoever ends up being their husband someday, who finds themselves in far more reasonable circumstances.
Oh, Steven. After he's done with them, hey, by the way, they make great wives. I would know. After he's made them into Twinkies, if you know what I mean. Quick interruption, guys. If you're enjoying the video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, because it goes a long way in growing this channel. And of course, a friendly reminder, you can never trust a woman unless she is subscribed to Project VO Pod. Let's get back to the video.
And I want to be clear about this too. Now, look, I understand that some people out there think you should never date anybody, court anybody until divorce is finalized. In the case of Gerald has a
yeah,
friend.
I won't say who, but I know somebody who went on for 10 years.
There's currently in
there's
Texas,
a current
divorce is
case
going on
in
for
Texas.
8 years. You know, this is well over 2 years, and it could go on forever. I understand that some people have that point of view. I do not. And I think it's important to find something real. It's something that I still believe, something that I want.
So there you go. Steven Crowder basically admitted, yes, I am going through a divorce. And you know what? He's dating chicks on the side. He has girls coming in. He's probably, come on, let's be honest. More than likely, he's having sexual relationships with these women. That's how he knows they'll probably make good wives, right? He's a rich man. I mean, of course, there's going to be plenty of women in line to date Steven Crowder. Now, Crowder, in this next clip, if you don't like the title suggests, Crowder is going red pilled. I'll speak more about that later. But if you see in this next clip, he talks about how when he was giving advice to young men, he might have been wrong on certain things.
I have been humbled, and I do have a lot to apologize for. Look, let me be really clear here. I was wrong
There you go.
about a lot. To men out there who have been going through divorces, and we've had these questions come in at Life Advice. I understand. Look, I hear you now. There's not just a problem of pervasive feminism, to be clear, but the failure of the church.
Yeah.
We were talking with a pastor recently who was on the show who had an assistant pastor who at this church was forced to step down because someone left him while they were cheating on him because he was ashamed of being a man who had been divorced. And if you expect me to change my tune on marriage, right, this is something that, speaking to marriage in general, as it relates to marriage, I get that there are some people out there who become bitter, who become anti-marriage, and I see that in the men's rights groups out there. Let me be really clear about something. My opinions haven't changed.
Now pause real quick. So here's the thing. His opinions have changed to an extent. They have to. Now, as far as like the nuclear family and stuff like that, of course that hasn't changed. But what he's saying there, anti-marriage, the men's activist groups, whatever you want to call them, etc. I think Stephen in the beginning was a blue-pilled individual going into marriage, and that was led because of the church. And I think the church is horrible at guiding young men into happy relationships. Because to an extent, it's not necessarily so biblical, right? You got some of these churches actually allowing women to be pastors in their church, and they're telling you how to run a marriage. That's absolutely stupid. But regardless of that, I think Crowder here had a similar view to marriage that Michael Knowles, for example, is. Currently, by the way, I did a whole video of when he was on the Whatever podcast talking about marriage, and I disagree with him. And my main point of that video, which you could check out after this one, is basically, hey, get married under God. If you're religious, you know, the Muslim, Christian, whatever that might be, get married under God. That's fine. Do not get married under the government, because you're going to end up like a guy like Steven Crowder that's built a great kingdom, that has a name for himself, has respect on that name, and a woman can tear it down instantly. And the Bible has even stated, you know, do not fall in love with women, because women are the ones that tear down kingdoms. You know, once you start falling in love and following these women, that's when kingdoms get destroyed. You know, that's what it is. So I got into more detail about that in that video with Michael Knowles. So let's move on with this.
I believe that a child needs a mother and a father in their house, ideally to raise them. That's incredibly important. I believe that marriage is the bedrock of society. It's the foundation of American society. Before state governance, before federal governance, you need self-governance, and that comes with a strong nuclear family. I still believe that, and I believe that we need to fight to preserve that in this country. Now, with all that being said, I may never get married again.
Did you hear that?
What do you do with people like me? And I know that there are a lot of men out there who love women, who are scared. And I am so genuinely so sorry if I was ever dismissive. I hear you. I was wrong. Comment below what experiences that you have been through, because you'll probably find other people. You are not alone. And you have someone who will be an advocate as it relates to strengthening families going forward in this country, specifically as it relates to laws and people who have had to go through this system for years. You do not need to be. We often say, hey, you know, you shouldn't be shamed publicly. You should not be shamed because something didn't work out in a choice that wasn't yours. So I apologize. Really do.
There you go. That aren't necessarily biblical. I think Crowder's waking up at this point, you know? I think after his divorce, this whole thing has taught him a lot. Now he's, what his words, courting other women. And hey, like at the end of the day, that's how you learn, right? He was a young man. He has more of the philosophy of what I would assume, I think he's Catholic, what the Catholic religion kind of invents into men. And I think it's bad advice, because a lot of these people in the church, no offense, they're boomers, right? They don't know how modern day women have changed, their hypergamy has gotten a lot more amplified, especially after social media with dating apps and Instagram and all this stuff that kind of piles in the nature of women. Like it is an amplifier, so you do have to play the game completely differently going forward as a young man. Like chivalry's dead, women killed it, and they killed it a long time ago with the sexual revolution, man. I think he's getting it now. I think he's getting red pilled. I think going forward, his advice to young men is going to be completely different. Because mind you, I've been watching Crowder for a long time, and I remember Crowder giving advice to young men, and some of it I liked, some of it was here and there. Now, in this same stream, by the way, in this same episode, Steven Crowder did give advice later in the episode that I think was a lot more positive on the matter. It's a lot more, it's better Crowder.
Men haven't changed what they want in a woman. Okay? That's why you see billionaires marrying waitresses. They don't care about your college degree. They don't care about your job. That's not what matters to a man.
Does this not sound familiar, everybody? Does this not sound familiar? Crowder.
Man still wants the same thing that he's always wanted. He wants a nice woman to whom he's attracted to come home and be able to do, right? To feel safe, to have a safe haven. Nice matters more than money, right? Nurturing matters more than business success. Women have changed a lot of what they want from men.
Yes,
that
sir.
has changed significantly, and a lot of men feel like they can't be mind readers, right? And you know that this is true because it's a stereotype that everyone jokes about when it's funny, right? If a woman says she's not mad, it means that you have to find out why. Okay.
Exactly.
Does your husband, does he come home to you every night? The answer is yes. Okay. Does he protect you? Okay. If something goes bump in the night, does he answer, or do you lock him in the bedroom? All right.
Sound familiar, everybody?
Does he provide? Meaning, does he go to a job at all? Okay, we've just crossed a threshold, but I'm not going to tell you what. One more question. Does he ever listen to you complain about problems ever that don't affect him? Does he ever do anything nice for you, like send you flowers, even if only on your birthday? If the answer to those is yes, congratulations, you're with a man who's doing more than 99% of men who have ever lived.
100%. Guys, I try to listen to like my girlfriend and my, women. I just can't do it. It's just like, oh my God, you're fucking boring, But I try my best here. I try my best to listen. So if you got a guy that's at least listening to you and remembers what the hell you said, hey, congrats, ladies. Congrats.
Ever lived? You think Genghis Khan was listening to you bitch about Tiffany?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, there you have it, man. Steven Crowder just gave a lot of points of views that we've already seen before in the past. He's not giving wishy-washy garbage advice that you would see from like Michael Knowles or Matt Walsh. Look, I understand the TradCon movement. They want to go full on, like, oh yeah, the church teachings and stuff like that. But they still believe in getting married under the government, okay? They still don't address the fact that our marriage laws are completely one-sided. So until then, my advice to you guys is, if you're gonna get married under God. That's it. Don't get married under the government. Only under God. All right? And yeah, that's the advice that I would have to young men. Anyways, with all that being said, this has been Project VOPod. I'm your host, Jake Varr. Trump 2024, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.